You're with Destination Newry. It is the morning programme. I'm Rowan Hand, and my friend and colleague and confidant from a skeletal point of view occasionally, Mr. Stephen himself, Steve Eccles from Eccles Physiotherapy. The warm weather is here.
It is indeed.
And
for however long
it has an effect on the bones.
Yes, I suppose the sunlight on our skin improves our vitamin D,
yes,
which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
And it gets us out and about. Gets us out,
movement
out from behind the TV. I think is the most important thing.
Yeah, that awfulness.
Yes.
I was down in Spain for 5 weeks there, south of Spain.
Lovely.
Lots and lots of heat.
Yes.
The bones all healed and were good. I found myself doing something I don't do here, Steve. I walked 4 miles a day down the hill from my house down to the centre of Nerja, and then got the bus back up again. Once or twice I walked back up the hill.
Well
that
done.
was a bit
Very good.
But I mean, suddenly if you have the heat of summertime, springtime in your bones, you are able to be enthusiastic about walking. You are. I think it's generally thought of that if we have a little bit of wear and tear in our joints, a little bit of osteoarthritis, that heat is good for it. Yes. Because I'm not sure why, but it just feels good. You know the way when it's very cold, the bones ache more. Yeah, they do. However, the reverse is true for somebody with perhaps rheumatoid arthritis. So, no heat. So the heat, because it's already inflamed in there, so the heat kind of makes it worse. Yes, indeed. But most of us, as we get older, just get a little bit of wear and tear, and the heat will be great for it. I suppose a kind of yardstick for the effect of weather is your busyness in summertime, when you're required to manipulate the bones of people and work with them. Is summer traditionally a less busy time for physiotherapists? It is indeed. Isn't that interesting? Well, certainly for me it is, yeah. Yes. But that's maybe something you manufacture in order to fly off and do wonderfully interesting things. You cherish, no, it isn't. You cherish that sunshine on your shoulder. Yes. Yeah. No, I think people go away on holidays and they put it off and they put it off on the long finger and stuff. So. Yeah. Is it inescapable that most of us, all of us perhaps, will after a certain age, say after the age of 40, start to have some kind of degradation in the joints? I think so, yes. There's no getting away from that. I don't think there is. I think it's just that. I mean, if you think about it in a Darwinian sense, yes, if I'm allowed to do that, of course, we really are. We're designed to pass on our genes. So once we're beyond the age of passing on our genes, evolution doesn't really care what happens to us, because we've done our job. I'm not saying that old people aren't valuable in society. No, of course you're not. But your Darwinian theory applies. Yes, in an evolutionary sense, we no longer are. It's not important how we fare after we've passed on our genes. Because the strength of creativity is no longer needed. Yes, we can go quietly into that dark night. The good night. The good night. Yes. And not let it be a dark night. Yes. Let it not be a dark night. I don't know. I find that with age, the bones do get sore, as we say. Yes. But there is a contemplative ease that comes. You're no longer chasing shadows and chasing dreams, and you're no longer having to climb your business Everest every day of the week. You have a certain easement comes into your life. Yeah. That it is nice, and you don't care what people think about you, and you even relish. You can do crazy things. Yes, you can indeed. That other poem, you wanted to be able to be mown down when sitting in the barber's chair, mown down by a gangster, giving him a short back insides and whatever. But I mean, it is that joy of freedom that comes. It is. Yeah. It's a lovely thing. Have we been busy? Have you been busy over the last few months up to now? Yes, reasonably. Yeah. Yes. What sort of stuff have you been dealing with? Still lots of backs and necks, a few shoulders and knees and things. But the backs, more and more, I see that
that what we do affects our backs. I mean, often you can get, for example, skin diseases occur just because they do. You know, there's not much we can do about that, or infectious diseases and things. But back pain is our own fault, and consequently, it's a good thing because we can change that. We can change those faults and improve our life. I was at the Blues Festival.
Yes.
The other day, and
I was away for that. I'm sorry I missed that.
No, it was good. It was nice. There was a lovely band from London who played New Orleans music.
Yes.
I saw them twice, so it was great.
Yes.
But I met a guy there, and he said, "Oh, you fixed my back 4 or 5 years ago, and I've never had a problem."
To which you said,
exercises, and I was just so pleased. You know, it was nice that.
Yeah.
You know, I felt proud, and it was a nice thing. So you know, because what we try to do is not just fix up the problem, you know, click you back into place or some nonsense. We try to change how you use your spine, and then hopefully not have any of those problems again.
And that man would have had a hand in his own healing.
Absolutely, completely, yes. He's the one who does the exercise. He's the one who changes the way he moves. You know, it was wonderful.
Absolutely. The causes, we talked about the evolutionary thing. We're maybe not meant to walk upright as a column going through life and bending down, all fours in the early days of our evolution. All of that's there. And you see the consequences of it. It's a busy practice you've got.
Well, I mean, it can always be busier. You always give me a call and we'll have a look at you. But yes, no, it's very fulfilling. It's a lovely job.
I see people of a certain age, a lot of them women, carrying, it's slightly biblical. They take up their beds and walk, but their beds are mats that they lay out on the floor, and they're going to do Pilates for the like pre-death training, perhaps. Or no, it's not that. It's
pre-death.
I wouldn't say so. No. It's avoidance of death training, I think. They're there to do Pilates.
Yes.
And do you perceive tangible, evidentially demonstrable results from Pilates?
Yes, definitely. I had a couple of crews who've started maybe in the last 6 months, and after 6 months you can see certainly you know, the way they move, but also their strength and their flexibility. It all changes, and the beautiful thing about it is that it changes slowly, because the body changes slowly. You can't turn from weak muscles, stiff joints, to the opposite in a fortnight, you know. And that's why, and it's all done gently, and that's why, you know, I must say, these boot camp things just upset me.
Something ugly about them.
Yes.
Unnatural.
Yes. And they cause a lot of injuries too. So go gently go gently, everybody. Don't force yourselves.
Absolutely.
So tell me about your boxing career. Did he catch you over the right eye? You know, you got to keep the guard up.
Boom, I got it there. But it actually is interesting. It's an indication of growing older, I suppose. And this is a lesson for all of you, I would suggest. An increase in carefulness is required.
Yes.
Now, I'm in the beautiful Andalusian village of Nerja, overlooking the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
And I'm on the side of the mountain. And my villa is very lovely that I've leased there. Beautiful, shiny marble tiles on the kitchen floor. Middle of the night, I get up out of bed, I go for a drink of water, I go to the fridge, open the fridge, I take out the 8-litre container of water, I pour a glass, spilled a little bit by accident, put the bottle back into the fridge again, and then returned to pick up and slipped. My feet went from under me on the shiny marble, now wet floor. And I came down and collided with the corner of the 1.5-inch granite worktop. thick worktop, and it just took it out there. And at that particular moment, I'm lying on the floor. I know the blood is pumping. Never saw so much blood in my life. It's everywhere.
Yes.
And I'm there and I'm thinking, very logically thinking, Rowan, you have damaged yourself here. You've done something which could be quite serious. Now at this stage I haven't gone up to look. I'm taking stock of the situation, get up, put the light on and see the density of the blood surrounding me and look at the eye. And folk with me said, oh, you'll have to go to get it stitched. Well, the last thing I wanted to do was to go into a Spanish surgery and sit down and be stitched. So I thought to myself, it's clean, I don't have a problem there, but just to play safe, didn't have any antiseptic. So I took a small cupful of gin, you see,
right,
and I went to the sink and I got a little cloth and I lifted the flap and dabbed the gin into the wound. Now, satisfied it was clean, I pushed it back down again and healing commenced at that point.
And the healing has begun.
The healing has begun. Wasn't I awfully brave?
Yes, yes.
Awfully stupid as well.
Right, yeah, I think a couple of stitches would have gone a treat there.
But to get 2 stitches, you would probably had to sit for half a day in the hospital area, and I didn't want to be doing that.
No.
I found the holiday I don't normally do holidays.
Yes.
But I found on this occasion, I'd been working very hard here for the previous 2 years. I really needed it.
Yes.
And took the break, got away, and felt it did me good. Do you do holidays yourself?
Yeah, hoping to get away this year.
Sometime this year?
Yeah, sometime this year for a couple of weeks.
Nice. You'll go to the sun, will you?
Yes,
good,
indeed.
Good.
Some reading and some swimming. And
yeah. I did some writing when I was away. I wrote my my rambles from there, and it was good. It was good fun.
Yes.
I have one of them there. Shall I give you a flavour of it?
Yes, please.
It might be a thing to do.
I haven't had the.
No, this is over the last 5 weeks, you see.
Yes.
And let me see what I have here. The Rowan's Rambles. This is the thing about. I think I could tell you this one, and it's kind of health related as well.
Okay.
And it's a nice story as well, actually.
Good.
So I hope you like this. And I wrote, there's a problem about this paradise. I'm in a place of the walking dead. Walking dead. Here are to be found many of the retirees of Europe, all of whom I see in a dream. In the dream, they're standing to couples, hand in hand in serried lines, holding high the hand that is free, and calling out to the European landmass that spawned them, we who are about to die salute you. People who come here are largely of that vintage. World War II was ending, none would have fought in it, and virtually all of the neighbours here in Andalusia are in the twilight zone. I have joined the Cafe Society. Very sophisticated. I sit under the palm trees at a table beneath the umbrella and sip my coffee solo, the Spanish version of Grounded's one-shot Americano. It's here that I write my words and plan future programs and projects. God willing, I will return to Ireland in mid-August this year. It's a feeling of contentment, we were talking about that earlier, and necessary resting. I take this is very self-revealing. I take a selfie under the trees of the cafe and the coffee. It's a mistake. I know it when I see the resemblance to Lonesome George, the last turtle of his type on the Galapagos Islands, 120 years old. Now dead, I fear. It's in the skin of the neck folds. George outstretched, hoping for a mate, one last hurrah. Rowan, craning, gazed towards a mackerel sky on a backdrop of Mediterranean blue. The neck folds tell it for both of us, George and me. I've got fat, but I'm not the worst of them. This is a place where Charles Atlas never came, and all are too tired to kick sand in anyone's face. You enjoying this?
Yes, I am.
Every man here, it gets better.
Yeah.
Every man here over the age of 60 has a belly that begins immediately under the lower sternum and rotates all its rounded way south. Some, I've heard it said, polish the surface of planet belly with creams and oils. Others are coiffured by the tattoos of their imaginings. But consider for a moment the paradox of attractiveness. Getting philosophical here. What is it? Consider this from the fairy tale book of God. The great God who made people took a break and he pushed the automatic proceed button. God's rest coincided with the beginning of his design of old age. But he came back before too much harm was done. Never mind, he said. Never mind, God said. Never mind bellies. Never mind bronzed crepe skin and bingo flaps. I'll go for the big one. That indefinable wonderment that will take us beyond the mere business of looks being everything. Let us have the joy, and I saw this, of holding hands at 90. Let us have the softness of smiles that started a lifetime before. Let us have the unspoken hand-holding love of the twilight time. We'll hold on to all of that, said God. Never mind the other stuff, God said. It's the bits that are in the deep heart's core that are important. Then came Yeats. When you are old and grey and full of sleep, and nodding by the fire, take down this book, and slowly read and dream of that soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, and loved your beauty with love false or true. But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled, and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. Me? I reckon God and Yeats got it right. How's that?
Very, very good.
It's you know, you see things.
Yeah, no, it's great.
And you have to get it down, and that's what I spend most of my time. But the internet didn't work for me.
Yes.
It's terrible. So I couldn't send a bulletin every day to here, and I wanted to badly. But what do you do? What do you do?
But in a way, the internet not working, might have given you some rest too.
Well, I have to say, my rambles in the Democrat got more attention in the 5 weeks than they got the whole time before. I was spending maybe 2 days doing 700 words.
Yes, yeah.
And when you do that, they benefit.
Yes.
Because you put them down and you peel them back and you go on.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
What would you have done in life had you not been a
Lord, I really don't know.
Did you always want to be a physiotherapist?
No, I sort of drifted into it. I like the whole. I know it sounds hokey, but helping people.
Yeah, it's not hokey. That's good. I like that.
I like the intellectual part of it, the figuring out what's wrong with people. That's like a puzzle, you know. Yeah. So that's fun. No, it's a nice job, and I was never smart enough to be a doctor or anything.
Yeah, but it's nice.
No, I wasn't.
I'd love to be a surgeon.
Yes.
In my next life, I want to be a surgeon because most of my film work with RT, my best, most enjoyable films that I made for Nationwide were filmed in a hospital. We did the most wonderful mastectomy program one day.
Yeah.
And we were about 8-10 hours in the operating theatre with Professor Michael, I can't remember his second name. He was the lead surgeon at the Mater in Dublin.
Right.
And the lady agreed that we could do the film.
Yes.
And beautiful is a word I'd use. In the operating, it was lovely to see the courage of the woman.
Yes.
Lovely to see the skill of the surgeon.
Yeah.
And what he managed to do in that mastectomy is very, very, you'd understand this. He retained the dome of breast skin while removing the mincemeat of the substance inside.
Yes, yes.
Removed that, and then did a biopsy from the the flesh under the nipple.
Yes.
And in the course of the operation had the result back that told him he could hold on to the nipple.
Yes.
And then he did a radiation test of the sentinel nodes under the arm.
Yes.
Hadn't spread to there. He then mobilized the latissimus dorsal muscle,
right.
the one if you're doing a pull-up that it tightens here,
yes.
and fed it through subcutaneously under the skin, and with a prosthesis, rebuilt the breast on the one day.
Wow.
And one of the shots, and you're a visual man.
Yes.
One of the shots I remember seeing, best of all, was in silhouette almost. Mm-hmm. Michael Kieran's, that was his name, Michael Kieran's. Michael was working with the diathermy knife. They don't only use a scalpel. It's a heat gun that cuts. And there you could see the silhouette of his hand working inside the breastbone.
Wow, wow.
And the little column of smoke coming up.
Wow.
It was a wonderful thing. I want to be a surgeon, but I'm too old and too silly and too stupid. Yeah. What's the rest of the day?
No, just saying it was wonderful to see the people, the patients. And I often found hospital work, you see people at their best and their worst, And sometimes the bravery is magnificent. Sometimes and often you get people behaving horribly, and that's interesting too. So it was always dramatic,
Very much so.
I think outpatients, everyone's a little bit better behaved.
I went to when I had to go up. 2 stories to tell you about that. When I went to Daisy Hill to have my hernia that I caused in Africa dealt with, I was coming out of anesthesia.
Yes.
I opened my eyes, and there looking at me, 2 feet away from me, the great big smiling face and hairy head of Father Joseph Ralph of the Dominican.
Yes.
I said, Rowan, God bless you. And for the first moment in my life, I knew the importance of visiting the ill and the sick in hospital.
Yes.
And he was there proving that to me.
That's nice.
On another occasion, I went to the outpatients down about the prostate cancer thing down in the Belfast hospital.
Yeah.
We're sitting there in the waiting room, waiting to go in to see the specialist. There's 2 women there. And I said, ladies, are you in the right place? This is the prostate kind of area. You don't have a prostate, do you? Oh, no, but we have other problems. I said, okay, that's fine. And we get talking. I said, we're all talking. Well, what do you do? I said. He says, we're undertakers. I said, oh, my God, it's possible you could be in the right place. As you say, it can be funny, it can be sad, it can be everything in there. Yeah. So your day, what's happening to you?
Oh, just a little bit more work, and then a bit of taxi driving.
Oh, children.
Yes, we have AS levels at the moment.
Good.
In the house.
I know you don't want to tell anybody this, but I think it's important because in telling, you can encourage other people. One of your daughters did very, very well recently in the dance over in England.
Yes,
I beg you to tell the people.
She entered the prestigious Janet Cram Awards, which is a dance competition in London, and it's for the whole of Britain or the UK to enter, and it's for modern dance. And she's very young to be in it anyway. She's 15. Most of the people would be 17 or 18. Yeah. And but she got a prize for the most innovative dance.
Yes.
So she was and danced it beautifully, I think. And
wow. What was the theme of her dance?
It was she was a conductor of music. Yeah. Not a bus conductor.
No.
And she had half of her costume was the coat with the tails, and the other half was a white thing, and her face was half made up and half not. And that was choreographed by Niamh Morgan of Morgan Dance. Niamh went away to dance college in London and is back at the moment and did that. So I think Morgan Dance are pretty pleased with that.
I would say so.
With that, and so is Lila too.
Well, look, give Lila our love and our best wishes.
Thank you. Yes.
Tell her we're very, very proud of her.
Yes.
And you tell the people where they can take their aching bones.
Yes, you can find me on the internet at www.ecclesphysiotherapy.com, and you can also find me on the Old Warren Point Road, just about 300 or 400 yards past Kyo's cars
on the way down.
Yes.
Going to play you some music now.